Bridgerton Season 4 introduced the show's new key coupling, although Sophie Baek has a unique background. This episode of the Netflix series features Benedict, the second son of the Bridgerton clan, who is taken aback when he meets the enigmatic lady in silver, Yeren Ha, at Violet Bridgerton's Ruth Gemmell masquerade party. It's a classic Cinderella scenario, since the identity of the gorgeous woman who catches Benedict's eye is kept hidden for much of Bridgerton Season 4's first episode. However, as the novel progresses, we learn that the lady in silver is Sophie Baek, a scrappy, diligent maid working for the late Earl of Penwood's, Richard Gunningworth, household. Sophie, despite her stern exterior, is clearly no stranger to the aristocratic world in which she meets Benedict in Bridgerton Season 4. This is because she was brought up as the Earl of Penwood's ward. It's a convoluted and covertly scandalous scenario that only became more difficult following Penwood's death. Sophie's life began to change as a result of the Earl's secrets. Sophie's decision to conceal her identity in Bridgerton Season 4 is not surprising given her upbringing in a deceptive environment. In actuality, she was Lord Penwood's illegitimate child. Sophie's mother was a low-born maid with no name in Bridgerton. Sophie's mother died when she was quite young, so she never really knew her. However, she was reared with the belief that Penwood was her biological father. Penwood may have overlooked Sophie's existence, but he eventually felt responsible for her. He might potentially have officially recognized her as his biological daughter. However, Penwood wished to avoid the scandal. Rather than admitting his connection with a maid, Penwood looked after Sophie while publicly presenting her as a ward. This allowed her to be reared with the privileges of nobility without anybody knowing her true parents. Historically, a ward is a noble child who is legally guarded by another aristocratic family. Wardship may occur for a variety of reasons, but it is most commonly associated with orphan children. It would be unheard of for an aristocratic child to be placed in an orphanage, so they would be raised by another family that share their status and origins. Sophie's maternal grandmother placed her in the care of Lord Penwood, according to the Bridgerton novels. When he took Sophie into his household, he informed his colleagues that she was the orphan daughter of a noble friend who had died. This meant that, despite her birth, Sophie was reared as a type of adopted daughter of Lord Penwood, receiving all the benefits of actual nobility. Sophie grew up knowing the truth about her relationship with Lord Penwood. It's possible that everyone else was aware as well. Still, it was not contested or discussed until Penwood died. Lord Penwood married Lady Araminta Gunn, who had lately been widowed shortly before his death. He anticipated his wife to embrace and cherish Sophie as their ward, but when the truth about the girl's father became apparent, Araminta took a different approach. Sophie's status jeopardized the financial security of Araminta's own daughters, Posey and Rosamund Lee, Isabella Way, and Michelle Mao. So, when Penwood was no longer around to protect his daughter and ensure her nobility was recognized, Araminta reduced Sophie's status in the household. Sophie was subsequently introduced as the family maid. Araminta could be defended in part because she may have ejected Sophie from the household entirely. Penwood's illegitimate daughter did not have to beg for scraps on the street while working as a maid. Sophie, however, symbolized something uncomfortable and menacing to Araminta. Therefore, the girl was not treated with the same level of respect as maids in other families. Sophie's character in Bridgerton is heavily influenced by her upbringing. She was reared as a member of the nobility with love from her father, so she can easily navigate a setting like Violet Bridgerton's ball. Still, there's a discernible edge there. Sophie's faith in those around her suffered as a result of growing up amid deception, which was exacerbated when her father's promises fell through following his death. Sophie's major maternal figure since her mother's death is Araminta, who is far from a positive or loving influence. This incident came after the death of her father, which was naturally distressing. Sophie was unable to change her situation. There was nothing she could do to keep her status, so life quickly became a matter of survival. All of this hardened Sophie, making her a unique force in Bridgerton. Sophie's upbringing could have made her angry and resentful. Her experience as a maid, on the other hand, brought a particular humility to her naturally gentle and compassionate personality. Sophie is clearly on guard in Bridgerton, though. She does not believe in love or security because her experience suggests that such promises are unattainable. It's no surprise Sophie is hesitant to trust Benedict in Bridgerton Season 4.